Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast episode number 204. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Book Insight Friday. So, today we're talking about the projects that are coming up this year on my end. Yeah, I know you guys were like hoping I was going to delve into like a book early on in the year. Yeah, that's not going to happen today. Too soon. Just want to really delve into a lot of things that I will be doing this year. Right now, I am preparing for my first book of the year to be published, which will be on January 26th. If you guys haven't listened to my other podcasts, the focus is on a new book series called Alphabet City. It's a book that book series. It's a 12 book series, that will talk about the inner cities of America from a fictional standpoint. You will be meeting 12 characters in this book series. There will be 2 characters in part 5, which will be 2 young teenagers. In each book, there'll be 1 book a month, and it will be published on the 26th of each month. That is symbolic of Alphabet City being 26 blocks. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. So, yeah, I do things with purpose and reason, obviously. I did start with a certain set of book covers, but I liked them. I didn't love them. I have to love something in order for me to like fully go full-fledged. So I ended up changing my book covers in December, literally like days before Christmas. I went through a process, was on Canva looking for some pre-made ones, and saw some pretty good ones, made some tweaks, some adjustments, did different book covers, different colors, and played around with it and said, okay. And here we are. So 12 books coming this year. That's a definite. And yes, the 12th and final book will be releasing on the day after Christmas. Yes, I am doing that. I'm not going to change that because of holidays and things of that nature. Anyway, my books really aren't ridiculously expensive. I really go by length of the book, not, just setting a price for every single book of the series. So that's not my thing. Lowest, I think, for our paperback is $7.99. Highest is $9.99. Depends on page numbers. I think there are only 2 books in the series. For ebook, that would be $2.99. All the rest of them will be $1.99. So just giving you guys a heads up of what it'll be. I have also expanded, and now all of my books are on Smashwords. So not only will it be on Barnes & Noble's, Kobo, Scribd, Apple, Biblio, Biblioteca, Baker & Taylor, now we have expanded into Smashwords, which is a beautiful thing. Very happy for that. And it literally took me like 2 minutes to do that. Imagine 44 books all being sent to one book site in like 2 minutes. The beauty of draft to digital. If you guys ever go down the road of writing and becoming an author, draft to digital will be your best friend. It's a website, book hub, where you literally can pick and choose what book websites you want to put your books on, and they just send them there. So that's one part of the year. That's one component of 2023 that I will be doing. The next thing is obviously growing this podcast, which has been so much fun. It's a beautiful thing. I'm in year 3 of my journey of being an author, talking about what's on my mind, doing motivation, inspirational podcasts, but from experiences, different standpoint. I've learned from the best motivators in the world. David Goggins and Patrick Bet-David and Gary Vaynerchuk, Eric Thomas, Simon Sinek, Jim Quick. They're all great motivators and things of that nature. There's someone else that is not coming to my mind right now, and he's someone that, his face is in my mind, but not coming to me at the moment. But anyway, so that's something that I'm doing this year, obviously, growing the podcast. I have a podcast website. It's the aquarianmindpodcast.com. Really nice website. It took me forever to really put it together. It really slowed up my process of editing my books for 2023 when I was working on it in 2022. It was literally like 8 weeks of working on that website. But I have it where I want it to be, and it's a beautiful thing. If you ever decide to do a podcast or you have a podcast, you want your own website, 2 websites to utilize. Podpage.com, which is where you build the site, and then if you want to go down the road of having your own domain, I would go with namecheap.com. It's all one word. You can pretty much get a .com website for a reasonable price for the year, and you pay it yearly, and you keep it moving. So that's another component. Another thing is obviously doing the blogs and turning the blogs into podcasts. So I have a lot of new blogs coming this year. They are all pretty much written and set to go. Blogs will be every 2 weeks. I've started doing that in 2022 because doing it every week, it's a lot. So every 2 weeks there will be blogs, and that's a great thing. Next thing I'm expanding on is obviously the audiobooks. So if you haven't listened to my previous podcast earlier this week on Monday, I am jumping in into audiobooks. And since you guys are listening to the podcast, if you guys are interested in audiobooks, wonderful thing. Jump into that. My audiobooks are on payhip.com/Jamel Crothers. You will be able to find all of that there. I started to go down the road of, putting my audiobooks on Spotify and all that stuff, but it's really a tedious, arduous process. And I just don't have time for it this year. I just don't. I just don't feel like doing all this abridged and this and that, and it's just too much. I started to do it with Findaway Voices, and then I was just looking and thinking to myself, no, this is not worth it. I'd rather kind of stick to, what I'm doing, kind of having my own site for things and going that way. Plus, you still can review my audiobooks on PayHip, which is an added component that they added to it, which is a beautiful thing. So I'm very happy with that. So I am going to be doing a lot of standalone books this year after I do Code Blue 4 and 5 and the Struggles and Growth of a Man series. Once I finish that, I will be immersing myself into a lot of the standalone books. So The Man Who Lost His Soul, One Drink Too Many, The World in Ruins. Definitely going to immerse myself in those standalone books, and then I may jump back into doing book series. We'll see. I'll gauge it and see how things are going with my year. I do live in Arizona, so I will be doing some more events where I show my face. But I will give you guys the heads up on that. For those who live in Arizona, I will be doing Roosevelt Row, Archwood Exchange. For those who know, they know. I'm not going to sit behind the mic and talk about something that a lot of you guys probably are like, what? Not going to do that to you guys today. Thinking of other things. Oh, yeah. The other things. I will be immersing myself back into TikTok and YouTube. I will be moseying my way back onto those platforms again. Because I was writing a 12-book series for about 5 months, of 2022 and all the other things that I was dealing with, personally in my life. I'm not delving into all of that, but things are better now. Couldn't really do a lot of the recordings and things like that. So TikTok, I will be back on this year. Hopefully TikTok is still around with the way things are going. For those who know, they're trying to ban TikTok in the United States for numerous reasons, and I know the reasons why. But anyway, YouTube I'll be jumping back into this year. Twitter I'll be cutting down on. Won't be on there too much. Instagram, I pop on there, hey, post a couple of things, post a couple of stories, and I disappear for like a week or two. So I'll be doing that. But two new platforms that I will be jumping on this year. One of them is Swellcast, where I will be doing the audio stuff on there. It's an audio platform where people can share things that are on their mind, what's going on, poetry, entertainment stuff, books, all that stuff. So I will be on Swellcast this year. So I will let you know when I am on there. Probably drop a link of my page in the description, and then you guys can choose to follow me there or not. So I'll be doing that. And I have been avoiding, and well, not necessarily avoiding, but I've been evading Clubhouse. I will be immersing myself into Clubhouse this year. I will probably be hosting a few different things in regards to my books. With that this year, I will be game planning that and trying to figure that out. There's a good chance I will be doing that on Sundays. And I think I will be doing it on Sundays, probably February, March. Don't have a set date in stone yet. Just been focused on the books, getting my books ready for this year. That's the most important component of all of it right now. The ebooks and the paperbacks, it's a process. It's getting all stuff on pre-orders and drop to digital. It's creating the paperbacks literally on the bookpatch.com. It's a process, and getting everything formatted with all of my books, EPUB, Mobies, PDFs, making sure all of that looks good, making sure all of that looks right. There aren't any mishaps, when purchases happen. There's a lot that goes on, as far as being a content creator and things of that nature. For those who know, so that is something I'll be doing this year as far as, content creation. I will be on Clubhouse. And then I'll be doing a lot of other small things. I will be jumping into doing radio interviews again. I will let you know on the announcements and events section of my website, which is aquarianmindrights.com. That's my main website where I pretty much have everything from blogs to clothing line to books to announcements and events to, my podcast, what I'm about, what I do, all of that stuff. So definitely will be giving you guys the heads up when I start doing things. So the announcements and events, it'll be more than just the next book being released. There will be a lot of other things that I will be doing. Few other things that I have looked into that I will be immersing myself in. And when I get myself into some publications, I'll let you guys know. And I definitely will be looking into some more book contests, writing contests, things of that nature this year. So that will be something that I will be doing also. But the biggest component of all this, obviously, is the writing and this podcast. So just giving you guys the heads up of what's going to happen there. Each month, obviously, there will be book insight to how I wrote Alphabet City, each book from 1 through 12, and that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. A lot went into the Alphabet City series. It was a long time coming. I planned it out I think a good year and a half ahead of time. So basically, I had everything pretty much planned out. It was just sitting my butt down to write it. And I was able to do that the whole summer and didn't have too many distractions. Had a couple of things going on, but sometimes that's part of it. You got to get through what you got to get through. So that's pretty much the gist of what projects are coming this year, things that I will be doing, things that I will be, immersed in. We'll be also looking to branch out into more bookstores. Potential for 2 other bookstores in the Phoenix, Arizona area that I will be doing. I have 3 of my books in one bookstore, which is Grassroots Bookstore. It's grassrootsbookstore.com. Roots is ROOTZ, not S. So you guys will be able to order a book from there that's autographed. But I will be probably changing the books this year. I'll see what happens. I may change into more standalones. I don't know. I'll see. I'll have to talk with the business store owners and see, what I can do, and change the consignment and all that stuff. So just a lot of things that I am doing this year. There are a lot of other things that I am doing, but I can't really go into those details right now or quite yet. But if I, do get new things coming my way, I will share it here on this podcast and also on my website. So that is what's coming for 2023. So definitely looking forward to sharing my journey, continuing to grow and continuing to push you guys and motivate you guys to be the best versions of yourselves this year. All right, guys, I'm out of here. That's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, have a good weekend. Be productive. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.